All right, hello. I got inspired to go live again today. I knew I should have fixed that. I knew it was going to bug me, but I was like, you won't see it. It's fine. Your mascara's there. But no, it's bugging me. Okay. I will go for as long as I can until the baby wakes up because she is having a nap. So this was also something that was talked about today in one of Christine's master classes that she's hosting. And it's been something that I've been writing about. I haven't necessarily published it yet, but there's one big reason that people fail at business or making money. And honestly, it's the number one reason that you are not doing whatever it is that you want to do or have whatever it is that you want to have. Whether it be a relationship, a job, a business, making money, anything. I mean, this is the number one reason for literally anything that is not functioning or succeeding in the way that you want it to. And it's your ability to handle and regulate your emotions. So this is the reason why, like, there's so many people who are like, my mother is a narcissist and she's the most evilest person in the world and she's a freaking monster and I could just never get along with them. And then there's people who are like, I can't, running my business is too hard. Like, I just can't handle all of these things. Or this relationship, this person is this and that, and they don't take personal responsibility. We, as a nation, I mean, I can't really speak to like other countries or anything, but I can see like through our school system, through the way we communicate, going to church, all these things, not one place as a child and as growing up taught me about my emotions and how to handle and regulate my emotions. And this is the number one reason that people end up failing at whatever it is that they want to do within their life, is because they cannot handle the emotions related to doing that thing or the feelings of failure. Failure is not, we associate failure with life or death. Like when I'm working with people who are studying to pass the insurance exam, the insurance exam queen, I built a multi-million-dollar business. It's absolutely amazing and incredible. I help people pass the exam quickly and easily. And one of the things that reoccur, like when people come into my world for the insurance exam queen, is they're like, I've failed. I'm a failure. I can't do this. And they have attached the word fail that they see on their score sheet to mean that they as a person are not good, or that they're bad, or that they're not smart. Like we lack emotional resilience everywhere, in every capacity. Your relationship is struggling. It's your ability to handle emotional regulation. Your business is struggling. It's your inability to handle emotional regulation. And ultimately what I'm saying is that you have to be in control of your feelings or know how to manage your feelings. And it is not your fault necessarily that you don't, because like I said, I grew up in America and not one time, not within my school system, not in the church that I went to, not with the parents that I had, did anybody teach me about my emotions and how to handle them and how to manage them. What I learned about emotions is that adults' emotions are more important than children emotions. Adults don't know how to manage their emotions, and so they scream and yell at their children so that their children won't trigger their adults' emotions. And what I learned is that I need to suppress and hide any amount of emotions that I have so as not to trigger and set other people off. And this is where people pleasing comes in from. And one of the biggest things that I've had to do throughout my journey of building a multi-million-dollar business, of creating a life that I love, of having an amazing partner, of having my dream baby is managing my emotions. And managing my emotions every time I hit a new milestone in my business. And anytime I hit a struggle within my business, there are things in my business that I have struggled with, and that can either take me out or it can help me build stronger. So like, for instance, one of the struggles that we had was QuickBooks. I paid everybody using QuickBooks. Like, people rely on me for an income. I pay them on QuickBooks, and our QuickBooks had a problem and I couldn't pay people. And so I have people just like, we need our paychecks, and I have no way of giving them the money, and QuickBooks was holding our money. So it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to pay them another way. It was like the money that was there to pay them was not usable. And I had to hold the emotions of that. So I had to be able to stand strong enough because this is something that early on in my business could have like sent me in a tailspin and be like, oh my God, I don't want to have to handle these emotions. I don't want to have to be a person who is responsible for other people's incomes and getting it to them, because if I don't, then they're going to struggle, and then that's too hard to manage. That's too hard to hold. If I didn't take on the responsibility of learning how to manage my emotions, learning how to handle my feelings, I would not have been able to grow this business as big as I have. And if you have any desire to make amounts of money that I have been making, if you have any desire to have an incredible relationship, if you have any desire to have an amazing relationship with your children who don't hate you and wish that you didn't come around and call you a narcissist, you've got to be able to handle your emotions. And what's really funny is I have a daughter who doesn't want to hang around me because she believes that I'm a narcissist, and she believes that I am evil and have the savior complex and all this stuff. And it's because when I was parenting her, I didn't know how to manage my emotions. I blamed everything that I was doing as a parent on her for triggering me. Well, you mistreat me, you yelled at me, and so anything I do as a parent over you, I have the authority to do that. And my inability to manage my emotions, I put it all on her. I blamed her for every problem that we had in our relationship. So I completely understand why she feels the way that she feels. But she also cannot manage her emotions. No one has taught her. I certainly didn't teach her how to do it. In fact, I taught her how to do the opposite. I made it so that she had to behave in a certain way so as not to trigger me. So if you behave like that, it makes me upset. It makes me angry. And so in order not to make me upset, in order not to make me angry, you have to behave differently. As adults, we lack so much emotional regulation. Children growing up these days actually have more emotional regulation than we do because they get to watch shows like Bluey and Daniel Tiger that teaches them about managing their emotions. Even Miss Rachel talks about managing your emotions. But most adults walking around this planet right now, at least in America, because that's what I've experienced, have no idea how to manage their emotions. They blame other people for the way that they feel, and they say that you have to behave differently. You have to do things differently in order for me to be better, in order for me to be okay. We give our power away to other people. We give our power away to other circumstances that we have no control over. And so then you become a person who tries to control every other person around you. I'm pleasant and fun to be with as long as you don't do this and you don't do that. But if you do that and you do this, then I'm going to be a mean, raging, angry person because I can't handle my own emotions. And this is like, we do this to our children. Like, it's so crazy to me how much we do this to our children. They have to behave better than we do. They have to know that if they do this, it'll trigger us and make us screaming, yelling, angry people. And so they have to make sure they don't step on our toes so that we can be calm and rational parents. No, you are supposed to be calm and rational yourself, regardless of what your child is doing. And you have to learn emotional regulation to be able to make that happen. But we are so fucking scared of emotional regulation. We are so scared of learning how to manage our emotions. Because the parents today were raised by the parents of yesteryear, and no one talked about emotional regulation. No one talked about your feelings are your responsibility. You have to manage how they come out into the world. You have to take care of them. And there is no one other person who can handle or solve your emotions for you. Only you can. Other people can teach you and show you, or other people can cause you to want to suppress them, but ultimately you have to be in charge of your emotions. Until you're willing to take charge of your feelings and your emotions and not allow other people to set you off, building a business, having a relationship, having the life that you want, having the money in your bank account is so difficult to come by. But here's the thing, is that I'm not saying you have to get completely emotionally regulated before you can have all these things or do all these things. I learned how to emotionally regulate through the process of building my business. So much of building the Insurance Exam Queen business had nothing to do with anything business related and had so much to do with my own personal development as a person. I had to go through, and I call this the emotional gym. Building my business was going through an emotional gym. Having an awesome relationship was going through an emotional gym. And my baby is awake, so I'm going to have to come back later. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.